There's another one on that rod right there. Literally every cast is a fish right now. With the incoming tide, whiting galore. So if you get a chance, get out there and fish, guys. They are biting. And with that being said, welcome back to the Northeast Florida Surf Fishing Forecast for February 12th, 13th, and 14th, guys. This video was shot in South Jacks Beach / Northern Ponte Vedra today. I fished close to the county line, and water was beautiful. There's the sandbar I've been fishing. You see the whitewash. It actually goes out to an angle, and there's the hole straight ahead. No whitewash, see that? Then over to the right, you have the sandbar again. So in between those two sandbars, I'm throwing in, catching a lot of whiting. So the water's nice, and it should stay nice as long as the winds actually do what they're forecasted to do. Last week, they didn't cooperate at all. They blew a lot harder than they called for. So we shall see what happens. Only bad thing is, in the next few days, they're calling for a lot of rain, guys. So the next few days, the winds look pretty good. Friday, they're talking about light and variable in the morning, switching to the northeast at 8 to 10, which is perfect. Saturday, northeast 5 to 10, switching over to the southeast at 5 to 10. And then on Sunday, sort of a odd day. Starts off southwest in the south and southeast, light, and switching over to the northeast at 5 to 7. Now, all those winds are dependent on what these supposed storms we have coming. They're saying we have a pretty good chance of rain Friday afternoon, Saturday, and Sunday. So if we get any of the severe thunderstorms like we had on Wednesday, I believe it was Wednesday, that could change things. Sometimes those winds will pick up strong out of one direction or the other and can dirty up the water fast. But if it doesn't dirty up and if it's light rain, you could still fish. The tide should be getting back to normal. The last few days has been negative low tide, so whereas the last couple of hours of outgoing have been very good the last couple of weeks, yesterday and today, 2 hours before low, it was already extremely low, and the trough that is normally filled with water was very low. So the last 2 days I've been catching most of my fish on the incoming tide, guys. Now, Wednesday, I got some nice fish on the low tide only because I found a good sandbar that actually ran instead of north and south along the beach. I have a video I posted. It was almost like a half U. And so those fish were sitting between that sandbar and another bar. There was a perfect cut in the video I have leading up to this where I'm talking. I point that out. You could see the two sandbars and in between it. Now that was really deep on Wednesday, but today, Thursday afternoon at the low tide, I looked at it and it was very shallow. So I hit it when the tide came in, 2.5 hours into the incoming, and the fish were stacked up on the sandbar. So that's why I use 11-foot rods. Nothing was really hitting in shallow in the trough today. So I was launching it out onto the sandbar and they were hitting fairly consistent. Nice whiting. I did catch a few bluefish and 2 bonnethead sharks. And another buddy, he caught a small flounder. And I actually got in the water a little bit and it's not cold. No sting, my feet weren't numb. So looking at the water temps in Jack's Beach, they're saying 61 now, and I believe it. The blues would indicate it. The records I've gone through show that around 61, 60 degrees, the blues start showing up. And I did see a few reports of a few pompano coming up in New Smyrna Beach, so that's not too far south, guys. So if this trend continues, even though they are calling for another cold front possibly next weekend, I'm not sure how strong it's going to be, but that aside, it won't take long for that water to hit 65. And once we're there, it's open season for a lot of fish. The drum, the whiting, they'll be even more aggressive. Of course, I was using my Diet Pepsi shrimp that I've been using, and what can I say? It works great. The problem is it won't work, nor will anything else if you're fishing in a trough that's too shallow. So that's what happened in Jack's Beach, because it's pretty shallow already on this negative low tide. A lot of people were up there and didn't do too well. Feel bad because I've sort of, I've been telling people the last few weeks, the last 2 hours of the outgoing, and that's what it was. But one thing I didn't take into account was the negative low tides, and I'm going to try to, from now on, guys, I will have that in the reports only when they're around, because end of the month, we have some negative low tides, and they're going to be even stronger than the ones the last few days. So it's really going to get low. Like I said, 61 degrees, 63 Daytona, still 67 or so in Melbourne. So it's holding pretty consistent, and should only get better. Fishing's only going to pick up the fact that the blues started biting. And also I've noticed a lot of bird activity diving and look like picking up small minnows. So maybe there's some small glass minnows or something. So the blues will be eating them. The Spanish, when they show up, they'll be eating those. So throwing like a diamond jig or a gotcha, you'll hook the blues and the Spanish. The rig I've been using the last 3 days, I have the double rig. I always have a double rig on, but that has produced very few fish the last 3 days. I'm using, as I showed, I had a video up yesterday of the bite. The Carolina rig, 3 ounce, 4 ounce storm sinker, about an 18 to 20 inch leader, 20 pound test line, 25 pound test line, whichever you prefer, 2-aught circle hook, and the little yellow glow beads. That's what's been working well. I will say, if you are fishing for the whiting, don't get trigger happy and set the hook as soon as you see one bite. These guys, if you saw the picture at the start of this video, they are, numerous fish are barely lip hooked. And several of the fish, when I got them in, they actually weren't even hooked. They were just holding on to the bait, which is insane. So the water's still, even though it's 61, they're still a little sluggish, but that's about to change. As I said, once it hits 64, 65, I call them the rod benders, because there's no tapping. The rod just goes down, and that'll be, it's a lot of fun. So the next few days, if you can get out, keep in mind the tides. If you're gonna fish like Friday or Saturday, even though we're coming out of the negative low tides, so don't wait to the 2 hours before low tide. I would go an hour into the outgoing, and then you can hit the fish. And if you can't hit the outgoing, get down there about 2 hours after it started coming in, and find a sandbar that's close enough. If you can't throw far, look for a sandbar that's close and throw on top of it. And that's where the whiting were today and yesterday. They were hitting the sandbar and in between the sandbars. If you can throw far enough, throw on it. If you can't, I suggest just take your time and look along where you're fishing for the runouts. And that, we'll do a video here soon. Chip, the sinker guy, may actually have a video. I'll have to check on that. And we need a drone footage, because video doesn't do it justice, guys. We're going to have a clinic or something where we actually go on the beach as a group, and we can point these things out to people who don't know what they're looking at. But if you're looking along the shore, a runout is going to look like a patch. If the water's clean, it'll just look like a patch of brown water that goes from the shore out, and it'll look like a little mushroom cloud. You want to fish, I don't ever fish right in it. I throw past it. And what happens is, as that's sucking out, it's pulling bait, little sand fleas and whatnot. And so the whiting will actually sit on the tail end of that run out, waiting for food to come. So you throw out there, and I've caught a lot of fish, especially when the pompano show up. If you can find a good run out, those pompano will stack up in it because they're eating the sand fleas. Speaking of sand fleas, I saw some really small ones today pop up. So that's a good sign. I mean, it is warming up. And they're going to start showing back up, hopefully here very soon, the bigger ones. But guys, if you have any questions, send them to me. The river reports I've seen trout, redfish, some flounder still, and of course sheephead. You hit Nassau Sound, they're catching sheephead out there off the bridge and under it. But as for me, I like to surf fish, as y'all know, and this is what the YouTube page is mainly for, is for surf fishing. So I'll try to help you out. Send me questions. I try to answer everything. And I think the next video we'll be doing here shortly is on the winds, what each wind direction brings in terms of water clarity and the bite. Because those winds, if it dirties it up, as you know, the catfish, stingrays, and sharks absolutely love it. So we'll get that up soon. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to your catches. Thank you.